So today I want to have a quick video on bonds. I specifically want to think about how we should price a bond given what the cash flows are. So this graphic kind of represents what happens with a bond. You get a series of small little coupon payments that's represented by these blue bars. And then at the end, you get the face value of the bond. So what we want to determine is what you should pay for it or what that initial investment should be, that red bar. So in general, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to discount each of these payments to the present. Okay. So we have expected future cash flows. I say expected because any given issuer may or may not actually make these payments. So you have to judge the credit worthiness of each issuer. Then you're going to discount those back using a discount rate that reflects the probability of receiving those payments. And then you're going to kind of base that on the number of periods out that that payment actually happens. Let's go ahead and do a quick example of that. Let's suppose we have a bond, face value of 1,000. Coupon of 100, but it pays semi-annually. So we're actually going to get $50 every 6 months, and we're going to discount this at a 6% rate. So if we go through and do this, feel free to pause it if you need to, but you have in 6 months or half a year, we're going to receive $50. That discounts to a present value of $48.56. In 1 year, that $50 payment present value is $47.17. You can go through the rest of the numbers. Key point here is that the further out that cash flow is, the less it's worth today because you have to wait longer to get it. We get a bond value that we should be willing to pay today of $1,143. This is at a 6% rate. What if we were to change the discount rate to 8%? If we do that, we get these numbers here. Key point here is that as that discount rate goes up, the present value of those cash flows goes down. This bond now is only worth $1,072. If we go to a 10% discount rate, then the bond is worth roughly $1,000. In fact, if we were to construct this bond so that we only got annual payments, then this bond would be worth exactly $1,000. And generally, you'll find that if the coupon matches the discount rate, then the bond is worth the face value of that bond. Here we get a little bit more because we're actually getting some cash flows a little bit earlier and in 6-month intervals. That becomes a little bit more attractive, which is why we get that extra little amount on top of the 7,000. Now, one thing we're doing here is we're saying, hey, we're going to take each of those cash flows and discount it at the same discount rate. But if we look at a yield curve, we can see that yields are different depending on the maturity. So we should be doing this for a bond too. Now, interestingly, a professor of mine in graduate school said that he had a colleague, also a PhD, who didn't realize you needed to do this for bonds. Let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do here, we're going to look at a triple B bond, and we're going to say, what should the discount rate be? Well, we're going to actually take actual treasury yields here. You can see those in one column here. We're going to take actual spreads between a triple B and the treasury yield. You can see that these increase. Again, that goes to the probability that the issuer is actually going to make the payment. As we go further and further out into the future, becomes a little bit less probable that will happen, which is why the spread increases. Now, interestingly, I have a video about spreads and how they're pretty low right now. You should check out that video by following this link right here. But let's go ahead and discount this particular bond. Again, we're going to have the same face value of 1,000, coupon of 100, which means $50 6-month payments, discounted at that rate that we said is, the spread plus treasury. And we're going to get a present value for this particular bond of, $1,353, which seems pretty high given a face value, but interest rates are very, very low. This has a coupon of 10%. So we would expect to pay quite a bit for a bond like this right now, which is why we get this value. That's pretty much it. So happy trading out there with your fixed income instruments. I'm Brian Kozlowski. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much.